What is up, Combo Lords? First of all, in case any of my neighbors are watching this in the future, thank you so much. Some of my neighbors over on that side invited me and my brother over to eat Thanksgiving food, and that was awesome. So I got to eat all the tropes. I got to eat some turkey and gravy, got to eat some stuffing. All of that was a nice surprise. Now we still are going to cook ourselves a nice homemade meal. But now I got the double trouble combo of all of the classic Thanksgiving staples, and then all of the combo ways we might approach how to cook some Thanksgiving y food out in the combo classroom. Now, if anyone saw the first stream, we made a little fire pit. And this time I am streaming just on my computer webcam because the last one started glitching. I might have broken my other one. Now, we also wrapped some things in foil. I'm starting to lose track of which are which because we wrapped them, but we got a potato to cook. We got, this might have been the apple, the last apple of the yard. This was a persimmon. This was a guava. This was, and by was, I mean is, just in foil now. A pumpkin. Could we make pumpkin pie from scratch? Who knows? I forgot to bring sugar. I'll grab some sugar from inside if I ever rush in. Remind me on that. And then finally, we have a butternut squash. I think that'll make some good, like, sweet potato like stuff. And then somewhere I wrapped one of these. I thought, where'd that fella go? Well, I got another one of these, different color than the last one. Did you know that these type of fruits, the peppers like this, are typically all the same plant for the different colors, just at different stages of ripeness? Like the green peppers of the big bell peppers, especially, but I think for these two, the green ones are just less ripe than these. So that's interesting. And say these are just less ripe than the reds. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for commenting so far. We're going to wrap up a few more snacks, and then we're going to be ready to cook them. Now, I brought a few extra things out here that I didn't wrap up the first time because I think I want to add some garlic to the campfire. Now, garlic I've already done. When you wrap garlic in foil, I guess, should I break? I'll do one where I don't break the cloves apart and one where I do. We'll do a test of both types. But cooking garlic at the right temperature, which we may not master with our homemade campfire, can make a creamy delight. Garlic's good. In fact, I only brought 4 seasonings, although I should have brought sugar as the 5th one. But I may need to rush and get sugar if we make pumpkin pie. But the 4 seasonings that I brought are what I consider the 4 staple seasonings of cooking, of savory cooking, because I'm not counting sugar here. But the 4 staple, well, first let me break apart some cloves. Garlic. Okay, so now we got this one has the cloves separate, one with the cloves together. Test out both types of method. Okay, where should I put this? I'll put this in the old coffee cup that spilled. Now, I also got, similar to garlic, an onion. Now, it might sound crazy, but if we cook some potatoes and some onions, we're going to have a whole little feast. Now, we also might get a cameo from my brother later because my brother is around, although my parents are out of town for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to see if my brother wants to take a snack out of one of these later and make cameo for you guys for the first time. Now, where's the rest of my foil? I know I had a lot more of that. We had like unlimited looking amount of foil. Well, there's some extra foil here. That'll work for now. This extra one maybe can cover the potato. Yeah, that's just enough to cover the potato. Now we got a couple potatoes and an onion and some garlic. That sounds pretty good. And other types of fruit. I wanted to wrap these too. Where's more foil? Whoa! All right, I don't know where the foil is. I give up. The board over there is still filled with thanks that are still true. I'm still thankful for all those things, so we'll keep them on there unless we need to write any math on it later. Today, there was a little bit of a snack break stream while we do appreciate our thankfulness for all being combo lords here together. And we light a little safe campfire to see what type of Thanksgiving-y snacks you could cook from your own combo. No, not your own. That I can cook from my own combo classroom. Disclaimer: anything I do with fire in this episode is not to be copied. Um, Now, all right, that's probably good for our foil fellows. I guess I'll wrap this one little extra guava for fun. Um, but I was mentioning I did bring a few things that we'll need to make all of these work. So I'll put these all on the ground, all of our good foil wrap fellas. Now, what we're going to need to make it work is plates, silverware, and the 4 crucial spices. All right, listen up, combo lords. When you get into cooking, when you cook your savory stuff, obviously you're going to use salt and pepper. Those are 2 of the classics. I have to put them in just because they're so useful. However, what you next need to know is if you're going to incorporate a few more, there are many good spices, but the next 2 hold a very important role. You need your garlic powder and you need your cayenne powder. And with the right proportions of these for different dishes, these guys with the salt and pepper have you pretty set for a lot of good flavors. So I brought out those crucial 4 to me, but I should have brought sugar too, but that's okay. I'll probably have to go on a mission inward before I light all this fire anyway. Now, the other thing we need is possibly the lighter fluid here, because as I mentioned, although someday I'll give you guys a real campfire tutorial where we'll look at how to build fires from scratch in the woods, we might use a little shortcut technique right now. And then we're going to be able to cook our own little feast. There's also another onion here. Did I end up wrapping an onion? Maybe an onion didn't get wrapped yet because I couldn't find enough foil. So we do need the rest of the foil wherever it went. I'll admit it's a bit chaotic in the classroom right now. There was a big sheet of foil and it rolled somewhere. Here it is. Okay. We're kind of crushing the campfire though, so there you go. Now, here's what I want you to check out. It's completely light right now. I mean, it doesn't have as much glare as before, but it's bright out. It's complete daytime. Now, watch how in like 20 or 30 minutes, it's just going to, maybe like an hour, I don't know, it's just going to go black so quick. It's going to get night all of a sudden. It changes really quick around here because the sun goes over like a little ridge, and somehow the way the neighborhood's built, it's just from like light to dark really quick. So we got that, and we're going to cover up the onions a little more because they were a little sparse on the amount of foil. And we got a whole feast here. We have like 10 or 15 foil wrapped things ready to cook next to our campfire. Now, for a closer view, because we will get a better view of the action later, there's our little campfire that got smushed, and we'll rebuild a little bit. And where are all of our fruits? Fruits and vegetables to make a whole feast. All right. I didn't have any good big birds to cook for Thanksgiving, but luckily my neighbors had some good bird to eat. Shout out to all my neighbors for putting up with my antics. My neighbors are very awesome. The ones I've met, I have befriended. They say this looks like a fire hazard. I will be extremely safe. I also will have my hose ready, and I blocked it off with bricks, so the fire will hopefully not spread beyond the bricks at all. If it does, I'll have my hose ready. Now, it's just to cook some food. It's not to make a fire, to explode anything, or do anything bad. It is to cook food. So, and it's not to be copied. And hopefully I didn't accidentally wrap any of my plastic fruits. I'm pretty sure I only wrapped the real fruits, but some of these are plastic. Hello to everyone. Feel free to ask any questions in the meantime, because we're going to wait to light the fire until it's just a little bit darker. Then we can start cooking them. However, we might want to hunt for a little more kindling in the meantime, because if we want this fire to really cook something like a pumpkin, we're going to need the fire to go for a bit. And I don't want to use all of the parts of the desk, because some of them have this laminate skin on them that's going to be bad to burn. So parts of the desk can come in handy, but it's only like the inner parts that don't have any like varnish on them or anything. And I think I see a few back here. So, and there's also just some good sticks that fell off the tree. I think that these are perfect. So those will make our fire last a little longer. And let me get a quick peek back here at this part of the broken desk. So yeah, one piece that I can't burn, it's all varnishy. And then one piece that just feels like straight up wood that it looks okay to burn. So now we have a whole little setup to make our little campfire. And hopefully we can make it last a little while so that we can cook these things. Now I'll use a little bit of lighter fluid, which hopefully won't inhibit the taste because they're in foil, so hopefully that protects them. We'll see. Our goal is just to cook them in an easy, streamable way. Now, also for anybody who happens to tune in and who's bored of waiting around and watching fire, you can watch a more precise version of fire in the next two Combo Class main channel episodes where there are also fire. And the next one will be coming out tomorrow. It turns out that people really like how to count in weird bases. Those are the ones that are blowing up on the main channel right now, or the one is how to count in base -10. So we're definitely going to, I already wanted to do more weird bases, but apparently people like that concept. That one has the second video on the main channel that like hit the algorithm in a cool way. So that one's going good. And we are spiraling upward in awesomeness of all of our combo lords. Now, while we wait for it to get a little darker, I'm going to clear the fire pit and make it a little more precise right here. And what we'll do is get a slightly better angle for you all so we can kind of watch our little process right here. So first we got to make sure there's nothing near the fire pit. Move all your clocks if you ever start a fire. Then if you're ever going to start a fire, you got to move all your dice, including your one that says who, what, where, when, why, how. And you got to move all your playing cards. Then you got to make sure that there's no leaves nearby. Now that one's actually more applicable to others than the moving of dice and clocks. Is leaves are a burnable thing near fires, so you don't want them near. Oh, I should not be doing this as glass. Okay. I should have been wearing those safety gloves. Okay. Time to put on the oven mitt. But first, I'll put this in my little glass thing. Yeah, there's glass all over here. This is, I shouldn't have been doing that. These giant pieces of glass. So now we're going to wear the oven mitt. I don't know where the safety gloves are. Oven mitt will do the trick. So it's a dollar store oven mitt, but it'll work. We're going to make sure all the leaves are a little bit far from the pit and all the dice and stuff. And the pit's a little small to fit all of these in. If you can't see them that well, but you know. So we'll see what we can do to fit all of them in. I think we're off to a good start, though. So now we'll make them a little more pyramid-like. Reassemble them because they got kind of smushed outward. And hopefully that's not smothering the air too much. We'll also add a tiny shred of cardboard. Remove the tape first. And we're about ready. Whoa, I found another one over here. What's this? This is another potato. So we're about ready for that. So we're just going to hang out and talk about some cool rare stuff. And then you're going to watch the darkness. You're just going to start going bam and just hitting. And then we'll light the fire. So someone's wondering, will the final base, there's not going to be a final base or the final boss of the bases. No final boss. There's always another crazier boss. But the running of it's going to be negative pi I. To give a mild spoiler, pi is not the most practical of them. The final boss could be something like negative root 2i or negative golden ratio I or something. And someone's wondering about base 8. That could have benefits if you're computer like and you really like twos, really good at evenness, but base 8 probably is like tied with base 10. It's not one of the best. In different ways, they're like mid grade bases. And mid grade bases are not something we should settle for. So that's why I always roast base 10. I think if we are in base 8, I would probably roast it too, because 6 and 12 are better for humans, and 2 is pretty good for computers. And as we learn, maybe there's some weird uses to ones like the golden ratio base. That one's really cool. And base root 2 is pretty cool. Yeah, some of those are really cool. And everyone's really excited about base pi. Don't get too excited about that. There's some really, really cool bases, but base pi is not going to have as many superpowers as some of the other ones. There are uses for it. There are situations you might want base pi, but it's not going to be the all-star out of the irrational bases episode, which is going to be an episode pretty soon. That's just going to be a few episodes from now. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope everybody had some excuse, despite this being a weird holiday, to find something you're thankful for and maybe spend some time with family or eat some food or both. Get a little time off school, maybe. I think it's good to give time off school. Students should have more time off school, but they should read more. But how do you make people read more? I don't know. So, yeah, I support when they get the whole week off Thanksgiving. I think that's pretty dope. So to anyone who gets some time off, hope you appreciate it. Make sure to eat some nice snacks. Like I said, my neighbors invited me and my brother over to eat all of the trope Thanksgiving foods, which was pretty dope because the rest of my family was out of town and me and my brother were just going to eat something random at the house. But we got to eat all of the turkey and gravy and stuffing and all that stuff. Except one thing we didn't get to make that's a staple in my family is this stuff called red stuff that my grandma used to make. 2 Thanksgivings ago, she made it, or we helped her make it. She was dying at that point. 1 Thanksgiving ago, she was dead, but we made it. I made red stuff at a potluck thing because I thought it was good tradition to bring down. And it's sort of like an apple saucy thing with strawberries and rhubarb in it. And when you put this rhubarb in it, it gets really crazy with the strawberries. It's really good. We'll do a red stuff cooking tutorial sometime. And rest in peace to my grandma. I put some of her ashes on that staghorn fern. Um, Thank you to whoever loves the shorts. The shorts are honestly not my priority goal. I like the main channel episodes more. The shorts are fun to make too. People love them. They help draw more combo alerts to the channel. The new one, like I also post them on TikTok, and occasionally they do really well on there too. So I kind of sometimes get 2 birds with 1 stone. But like people really like the abacus one on there. The ones that do hits on there are the ones that get a lot of like agitated comments back and forth, debating or arguing stuff, because comments are really what feeds the algorithm there, and to a degree on YouTube. And so the ones where I'm like really like acting overly annoyed at some concept sometimes do really well on TikTok because people comment back and forth about like, why is he so annoyed? Is that right? Is he actually right or not? So awesome. Thank you to all of the other commenters. And yeah, it can be hard when family members pass. We will do in future grades, there will be philosophical classes that will help us learn to encounter and overcome our fear of death and our fear of others dying. We will overcome it in future grades because I've died and become reborn, and I haven't even told you guys that full story. But I don't mean like in a religious way. I mean like I actually almost died, and now I feel like I'm on bonus time. So we're going to incorporate more philosophy over time and learn how to deal with stuff like that mentally. For right now, we are sticking with more mathematical things to build up the combo web, and grade -1 is going explosively well. Can't believe we're still just in grade -1 and all this has happened so far. Wowie zowie. So, what we need to do next is, well, let's plan how we're going to eat this. I have two plates. We're going to try and make one dish that's a savory dish. So, the savory-ish ones, we have our potato. To a degree, no, I'm going to treat the butternut squash as sweet. So, the savory ones are potato. To a degree, the peppers, the red ones and yellow ones, garlic and onion. Now these are a lot of these are Swedish, but they're going on the savory dish. And then we get a few fruits, and then we're gonna try and experiment with a pumpkin and see if we can make a pumpkin pie. And so, once you're wondering what's happening, you can always rewatch the first stream if you want to see the very long prequel. But in short, um, although I did end up getting a Thanksgiving dinner out of the blue because of the luck of, when you're a good person and you have nice neighbors, then sometimes you make alliances and get good things. Um, but we are now going to cook a lot of foil wrap vegetables as soon as it gets dark and fruits and make our own Thanksgiving dinner out here in that little fire pit. So that's what we're doing. And we may also add to the thanks list of things that we are thankful for, because right now we're trying to appreciate not only the big scale thankfulness for existence and all that stuff, but little things that represent those big scale things, like one particular food you got to eat that represents that you're not starving, or like one comfortable thing that you like that represents that you have shelter, or one particular joke that you have with somebody that represents friendship or family. So, ooh, I could also peel this off and then I have some good wood under there, maybe. Oh, that looks kind of weird under there. This backup wood is the one under there. Um, so hopefully everyone sticks around for the fire. If anyone goes in and out before it's dark, I understand. Also, it's extra helpful for the channel to watch streams after the fact. That helps with this type of watch hours better than this does. But it's more fun to have you here. So everyone who does vanish, make sure to come back in an hour, because we're going to be doing some really crazy stuff. And we're kind of just riding the wave of Thanksgiving evening right now. Now, we also do have a lot of activities we can bust out, because we were like in the first part of this stream getting a million possible fun things, and we didn't actually use any of them. But we might actually need this flashlight when it gets dark. That might actually come in handy. Um, let's see. I guess that's the main useful one. The trail cam will be useful when it's set up. Oh yeah, we have a firework we could try and do at some point, but this is gonna leave like a crazy black mark on it. It's not an impressive firework by any means. It's these snake rattlers, and we're not the cream of the crop star of the show. We also have, of course, some fun, a lot of stuff. We got our abaci, we got our googly eyes, we got our books, we got our calculators. So, what we're going to do for right now is, well, let me look through the comments and see what we got right here. I think I actually got to most of them. And what we are going to do right now is actually set up the classroom so that we are fully ready for our fire when it occurs. And that's going to mean getting places actually where I can sit and put the camera and stuff. So this is going to just be seeing what chaos we can find. Here was some fractal shapes we encountered earlier. And here's a giant fishing net that I inherited. I don't know when that'll come in handy. All right. And I might light the fire a little early because I don't have too much else planned for the stream. So there's a chance we're just going to bust out the fire pretty soon. I also might check with my brother at some point. Okay. Whoa. All right. My brother texted me, I got some lamb if you want to cook it over the fire, LOL. I'm going to text, yes, I do. All right. So I'll try and see if my brother wants to come out for a cameo. That would be fun because you guys have never met my family yet. My family's pretty dope. Um, My brother's a bit younger than me. We have a little age gap, so he is 9 years younger than me, um, making him 20. One moment, I'm going to text him and figure out what's the deal with this lamb he might have to cook over the fire. That'd be pretty sick. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a little puzzle. And then I might run inside and grab some sugar and see what's up with the lamb real quick because I want to light this fire. But if we somehow have lamb to roast over it, that sounds pretty extra sick. That would be like a Thanksgiving supreme. And yeah, that is a train. So we live by the train tracks. I'll take you guys on a field trip there sometime. For those who don't know, I had to get 2 surgeries this year. It's been a crazy year, so I haven't been that mobile or able to get out until now. Now I'm starting to be able to walk fully again. And so I'm going to take you guys to the train track. But more importantly, I'm going to take you guys past the train track where the marina is, where there's a lot of cool birds, a lot of cool wildlife, some cool zones. I like this zone called the Brickyard that I think they added some paths to. So I'm a little worried how humanized they may have made the nature, but we're still going to check it out. There's some parts of the nature that are preserved in a way they're not allowed to build there. And I love going down there to the marina past the train track. And so that's a whole nother little realm I'll take you to at some point. Now, um, what do I need apart from that? All I need is I have the lighter fluid. I need to grab a lighter. I need to grab sugar in case we want to add sugar, in case the pumpkin works well, or the butternut squash. You know, butternut squash, that little version of one I had, is actually tasty in a Swedish way, like not even that savory, more sweet than savory. And you can like put a little bit of like brown sugar or maple syrup on it or something, and that's really good. Maybe I should get some butter too. Butter is a pretty crucial ingredient, and I feel like even if we make some of our stuff not as good, the butter will help. And whoever says we're starting fires, no, 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 no. I am going to start a fire safely, which is not to be copied. Please don't. Let's not have the joke be that everyone copies my stuff, otherwise they'll take the stream down or something. They start age restricting these videos, it's all bad. So remember, this channel's for education. What we're doing today is I'm lighting a fire very safely. And it might not look safe, but it's going to be incredibly safe. And we are going to test how different things wrapped in foil will or won't cook. So, and I have no idea what we would try with the lamb. There is an actual fire pit somewhere further in the yard that I could try and move the fire pit. I'm not sure if it's technically my family's or my neighbors, but we've used it sometimes. And I could move it back here, but I made my own fire pit because I thought it was easy and the bricks were here and fun. So, depending the plans for any lamb, maybe we'll upgrade the fire pit, but I was just sticking with a little homemade one. So, the other thing we're going to need to do is get the hose ready because when the fire gets big enough, it may put itself out, or it may A, get big enough I need to calm it down a little bit, or B, be the perfect size, but like still have little embers at the end. So usually, are going to need some sort of water if you have like a fire on the ground. So we're going to need some sort of hose. So good thing we got a good one. I have really crowded up this area there. There's like impossible to move. So let's get this hose going. Okay. All right, that's good. Now, if we ever need, we're going to just be able to blast anything with water. You guys want to see the power of this? Better not hit the computer screen. So that's what we'll do if we ever, that probably got a lot of my stuff wet. That's what we'll do if we need to put put out the fire or anything. Um, all right. So thank you to all the commenters. I love you. You're awesome. In a moment, I'm going to give you a puzzle because I need to run inside, get the last of the supplies, and see if my brother wants to follow me out or if he wants to wait longer. And what we are going to do is a little weighing puzzle. And here's how the puzzle goes. The puzzle goes, let's say, is this a dry erase? Yeah. Let's say that you have a scale that you need to test weights on. So I need to test like a 5 pound weight right here or something on either side. And so to do that, I need to have certain amounts of little weights of my own that I know how much they weigh. So, for example, if I had one that was a 2 pound weight and a 3 pound weight, I could put that on and test that it's that what five is. Now, if I'm allowed to put them on both sides of the scale, I could also, if my set contained a 6 pound weight and a 1 pound weight, I could also test that one was equal to five because I could say I'm putting one almost subtracted from the five because it's adding up and balancing out to prove that five plus it is six. So I could add or subtract essentially the weights in my collection to try and test a given number. Now, let's say you wanted to be able to test any integer up to some really large size, like any integer up to 1,000 or 10,000 or whatever. What is the optimal set, meaning the minimal amount of weights you'll need, the minimal amount of different ones? What's the optimal set of weights you'd want to try and hit every weight that to try and match any integer? And you're allowed to add or subtract. Now, I want you to think about that and comment it, my combo lords. I'll be back in 1 second. All right, folks. So, update to whoever didn't run away. There's 8 of you. Nice. We got the sugar. We got the fire. We also, my brother got lamb. So he's going to bring me some lamb in a minute. We're going to try and somehow cook lamb on here. I need to figure out how to safely cook a lamb on here. I don't know. It's just going to be like a campfire. So we're going to have to like half wrap it in foil and put it in the middle of the fire somehow or something. We'll try and get like a little lamb cooking brick to put in the middle of the fire and put like a little foil wrapped lamb on it. So I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to have to really test the inside temperature of the lamb before we eat it if we cook it on a campfire. But we're going to do something along the lines of adding a little thing right here and like making a little like lamb tray to cook some lamb in the fire like that or something. Now, if we actually get away with this, we're going to have done something wild. All right, let me take a look at if anyone commented about the puzzle I left. So, I don't think anyone did the puzzle. Okay, you're going to have to wait until whichever base episode relates to balanced ternary. So that will not show up in the next one because balanced ternary is not an irrational base. But it will show up in a future episode because there's a lot of cool uses of it. Relates to needing the characters 1, 0, and -1, and relates to powers of 3. So we're about ready to light this thing. Now I am going to put a little bit of lighter fluid on it to help it go. And like I said, this isn't my normal camping recommendation. I just want to make sure that this guy has an easy time starting off so that we can get a good long cook on our pumpkin and stuff. We're not putting too much because we don't want it to inhibit any flavor, and we don't want it to get so big that I have to put it out right away because that would defeat the point. Now we'll snake around this hose. The hose will be ready right there. All right, let's get the hose hooked on somewhere where we can keep it ready. All right, the hose will be hooked on right there. That's going to melt. Okay, the hose will be right back here, ready to grab whenever we need. And we're going to light this thing in a minute because it's going to get dark on us surprisingly quick. Now, I'm going to look up when they say the sunset is here. Sunset in, looking up my neighborhood. And they say the sunset is in 10 minutes. So when that happens, it's going to probably hit us like a curtain because the sun passes this point at the marina where it dips below the hills, and then you get a bunch of glow. But we have fences here that like block the glow part. So when it dips beyond a certain point, glow gone, dark curtain. I don't like this way of the daylight savings being slid. I would prefer the other one. We should not change daylight savings. We should stick with one. But right now, where I live, it gets dark too early. I don't know. It doesn't feel right that 6:30 p.m. is like super dark out. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be doing that much stuff in the day. I'm not the type of person. I get up early, but I'm not going to be like using the sunlight to its full advantage at 7 a.m. as much as I could at 7 p.m. I don't know. In the morning, I gotta like drink some coffee and do some math puzzles and wake up my brain and stuff. So, thank you to all of the comments, and I believe that we're gonna light the fire at the time they said sunset starts, and that was 4:52 in my time. I don't know what time you guys exist in. Now, mornings are funny because I've had times of my life where I get up really late. My sleep cycle's crazy. I don't sleep well. I need to work on that. I fall half asleep sometimes and then stay up all night. And then I have a bad sleep cycle. But often nowadays, I've fallen into, when I do fall asleep, right, just waking up really early automatically, even though like my brain isn't ready to. So, trying to roll with it, but my sleep patterns change from month to month. Right now, it's on the early wake up, but it's not always been. So let's see what else we got here. I think just to start off the little feast as a sampler, let's have a little bite of a guava. And then we're going to be ready to light our fire in a few minutes. And, you guys ever had pineapple guava? It's like the last thing in my yard, in the front yard, that's still ripe. You shake the tree and they fall down. Now, if we want to check out a weirder fruit, we can see the inside of a passion fruit. Now, the inside of these, quite interesting. It's going to look like strange seeds and stuff. You want to see the inside of this? Let me cut it open. All right, check this out. Yeah, it's dripping. It has like... This one doesn't have as many as some have in it, but these little gloopy seeds. And you can crunch them. They taste crunchy. It's tart, kind of. It has a tangy, weird flavor. Now, the vines of these grow really cool little curls. And my neighbors used to snake over here, and I want it to come back. And so I have two of these, one to eat right now, and one to plant the seeds in my garden over there. So when we plant the other weird stuff in the garden, we're going to look up how you plant these seeds, and hopefully they're one of the fruits that from seed can grow a vine. We'll see. All right. And what's going on right now, to whoever asked, is we're about 5 minutes away from lighting a little campfire feast. Thank you all for watching me eat, which feels weird, but gotta take a little snack break in the midst of the teaching and talking once in a while. Now, let me see if I have a better time putting up one final googly eye, or if these are still going to be super evil on the fingers. I can't figure out what they wanted you to do on the back of these googly eyes. I was so proud of my pack of googly eyes, and now I can't get the backs off in any way. Do you just need like hyper good nails or something to get the backs off? Oh, come on. Okay, never mind. We're not going to do that. I think that it's about time to light the fire. So, it said sunset's not quite yet, but you watch, in about 5 minutes, it's going to have gone from looking light out here to looking completely dark. And I wonder how long this timer is. I'm actually not sure. It must come with some game. I'm going to buy some more hourglasses, and then we're going to have some 1 minute timers. And then if I ever need to make an announcement about something that I don't want to waste your time on, I'll flip a 1 minute timer. I should time this one at some point and see how long this is, because this looks like it would be a lot more than a minute. So, you guys ready? All right. Just texting my brother to let him know I'm lighting the fire. So, you guys need to get a good view of this so we can have a whole little campfire party together. All right, and I want to hear from all of you. Have you already had Thanksgiving? Do you not celebrate Thanksgiving? Do you do it at a different time? Do you not have anything to do for Thanksgiving? What is your story for this year? Now, right there, we will probably set up our little campsite arena. I'll need to be somewhat low if you're going to see me in the campfire. Let's see. Maybe I'll sit by the side of the campfire right here, and then I can tend to it a little better. Okay, as usual, we're a little crazy. We got someone from Canada who, in Canada, don't you do it in like the second week of October or something? I read that not that long ago, and I was like, why didn't I know that? That it's even other places that celebrate Thanksgiving have completely different times they do it. In any case, this angle isn't working that well because I'm gonna get all crunched and burnt. So we're just gonna have to put you extra far. There we go. Now we have our full combo arena. Might get to observe the whole chaos now. Might be a little wild. And before we light anything, I'm going to write on the board, pointing at the fire. This is pointing at the fire, by the way. And it says, do not copy. So do not copy any of the fire. Remember, guys, I want to have fun on these live streams and do fun experiments. But if anyone copies this, then all the videos are going to get flagged. So we want to be able to do fun experiments here. Trust me, I'll be safe. So one last thing we'll do is ask the broken magic 8-ball. Will this fire be successful? And it says yes. It's just a straight up word yes. That sounds pretty good. It wasn't even no clouded answer. It wasn't one of those vague ones. Just yes. Can't read the comments from here, by the way. So after I light the fire, I'm just going to have to sneak over and read the comments every once in a while. And you ready? All right. I love you to all of my combo lords. Now, remember, it might look a little big for a second at first because we lit it with a little lighter fluid, but we do have a safe boundary around it. There aren't any leaves right next to it. We'll make sure these are even extra far away. And we have surrounded the campfire with bricks, so we don't think it'll be able to extend beyond the bricks. Once it gets a little larger, we're going to put some of our food inside the campfire. So as we put the food in, we're going to try and remember what it is, but we might not remember all of them because it's different types of fruit. So here we have a potato, and let's sneak the potato in because we want that to get a lot of good cooking. Here we have, let's put the pumpkin somewhere good. The pumpkin needs to get a good long burn, so we're going to tuck the pumpkin right there. Now, these are going to be completely restricting the airflow of this. This isn't going to help the fire that we're putting all the food here, but it's going to help the food. Now, these are some little ones. We got a little pepper we'll toss in the corner. Another little pepper. The fire will get over here soon. Some little garlics. And we might need to promote the fire going a little more to that side. So let's use a little more cardboard to promote the fire going over to that direction. What we really need is more small twigs. The small twigs or the kindling is really what gets you there in the fire. You need those little guys to catch, and then they're like the middle stage between something like cardboard and the logs. In any case, as we continue to build this fire, it is already probably starting to cook all of that stuff. Ooh, here we have some more good wood, if we can actually get some wood going. Now, like I said, I don't normally recommend needing to use any lighter fluid on it, but we're just going to help our fire out a little bit just to make sure that we can get our feast going quicker than usual. Now, I will check the comments in a minute, so continue to leave any of your own fun Thanksgiving experiences or just whatever's going on in your world today. Hopefully, some of you who had a busy schedule got a little, ooh, there's a squirrel, got a little time off for this because sometimes you get a little break during Thanksgiving, and that's always nice. All right, now I feel like I'm restricting the airflow by putting too many things in, but I do want to tuck the butternut squash in there. All right, let me take a peek at the comments while we get our fire starting to light up a little further. We got a lot of comments here. Yeah, so we got shapes could be squished by making by adding layers of foil onto each other. That could work in fun ways. Right now we're using the foil to wrap our fruits and vegetables. And we may need to go to a slightly better level. So I might need to get some newspaper to help this fire really go. I'm going to grab some newspaper right here. Well, I couldn't find any newspaper, but maybe this bag will help us get restarted. What we really needed was some good kindling, and those are like the smaller twig-like logs. And I put too much stuff at once in here, perhaps. But we'll see if we can get it reignited just by giving it a little more directions of heat. So, where did that go? Here we go. Let's see if we can get this fella relit. Now, what we really need are those smaller twigs. And I'm going to leave this amount of fruits in and vegetables for now because we do have a bunch of variety in there and I don't want to overcrowd the airflow. So we may need to have to take turns with things like onions and garlic and so on. Now, this is going to give us a good little bit of fire, at least for a minute, as this cardboard catches, and we'll see if we can manage to get the bigger ones to catch as well, because that's, of course, the goal, is to have it travel from the miniatures, which the little paper and cardboard are going to give you a big flame, but quick, to the mediums, which are your kindling like guys, to the bigs. And once you've caught the bigs, you're all set. So I think this one might be off to a good track. We'll see how this continues to roar. And since this side's doing pretty well, without smothering it, I will try and add one more element. And this is a small potato. That looks like an apple. What else do we have here? So this must be a guava or something. We'll put in a small potato because having a few potatoes can't hurt. Oh, there was an onion somewhere. So, as we see if this fire continues, let's sit back, enjoy our Thanksgiving. And the darkness has just begun to do its thing. So if you watch, right now it's light, and in about 10 minutes, the darkness should fully strike. Now, let me take a peek at what's going on in the comments. In about 15 minutes, my brother's going to have some lamb to drop off that we could see if we can try cooking on the fire, but we're going to need the fire more roaring if we are going to try and make sure lamb is fully cooked on it. So Thank you for sharing to the people who gave some comments about what their Thanksgiving's looking like. Now, this unfortunately was not doing the efficient job. Now, I'm actually, I think, out of lighter fluid possibly, so that's not going to help. We are going to have to possibly do it the old way because this lighter fluid thing, I guess I used it all in combo class footage already. Unless there's another one around here somewhere. So we're going to have to just try and go good old-fashioned style and maybe clear up a little more airflow in here because we might have a little too much going on. Smoke in the eye. When you get smoke in the eye, that's a hard one. So we'll try and see if there's any way that we can loosen up the airflow, get this going a little better. We'll remove that one for now. And we'll see if we can reignite this fella. Even if we never get to a full campfire state, we'll have a lot of adventures along the way, and we will try and eat the food anyway. So let's see if this gives a little help. But once again, what would really help is more kindling type logs, miniature ones. So that side's going. I'm just going to, while we chat, be looking for little twigs because those are truly what will save the day here. The little twigs, the middlemen, the ones that get you from the bottom to the top. So here's a couple little twigs. We'll add those ones in, trying to have them at a spot where it helps it grow. And now we're basically hoping that those bigger sticks ignite. And just in case they do, we'll put this guy ready to catch the heat as well. So let's see if we got anything going on with you folks over here. I could check the comments on my phone, but we'll see how it goes. A lot of the times checking the comments isn't the most fun part of the video anyway, so I'm just going to have to be checking it once in a while. Maybe I'll bust out the phone, but for now, I'm just focused on enjoying a semi-fire, and hopefully soon we'll be enjoying a full fire. But in the meantime, looking for some little kindling back here seems like a good zone to do it. There's a lot of potential sticks here, so let's shine a little flashlight. Now, there's a lot of clocks in the way. There's this part of the chair that came off in the earlier stream. And what do we got here? A lot of hidden secrets. But are there any hidden twigs? There's a twig. Yeah, there's twigs here. All right, I didn't get too many. Got 2 twigs. Still going to call that a successful mission because twigs come in handy a lot. And because it looks like we're starting to get a little action on the real logs, which is what we wanted. Oh, smoke in the eye. Okay. Gonna feed it a little more while it's going okay because we want it to keep going okay. So we'll keep it having a little food. The lighter, cheaper type of fire that it'll digest quickly. And we're also going to try and move some of these a little closer. And I'm going to put my oven mitt back on. All right. I know I keep restricting the airflow, but it's part of the game of trying to get the food somewhere where it'll cook it all. I need to be wearing like safety goggles or something. It's going to really make me tear up sometimes when the smoke goes in my eyes. Okay, but it's worth it because it's a nice fire. I think it's beautiful. I think fire makes beautiful dancing patterns as long as you're careful with it. That's getting in the eye real bad. Okay. Okay, so scooting back and maybe what we have to do is actually expand the fire pit a little bit so it has a little more wiggle room. So what we're going to do is add a brick. I'll use half a brick. We're going to expand the circle a little bit. And then we're going to have a little more room for growth. Eyes. Okay. 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 I am tearing up like crazy. If you can see my eyes. Oh my God. This is going to be worth it. Because now we're going to use this side to add a new layer to this. And we're going to try and get that side to somehow promote it. Okay, so this will work for a moment, and we're going to get our good start, hopefully get that second half nice and steady, and hang out as the darkness curtain hits us. Right now, the fire may seem unnecessary because you can see me without it, but before long, all of the sides will vanish, and all that will be left will be what's exposed by the firelight. So, say that's going okay, but I'm going to rearrange it a little more as we go, and I should use my glove. Where's my glove? And, whoa, look at that little charred bit. All right, whenever you see anything get out of the fire pit, you got to instantly douse it. Trust me, I won't leave this unattended. You got to be within very close of it. You never leave it for more than a few seconds without watching it or without having someone else watching it. So all the smoke's going that way, so I'm going to move a little bit to the side. Okay. I think I'm dodging the smoke now. No, metronome, no. Okay. What we really need is to find a little pile of sticks under one of those other trees. So maybe we'll go on a little mission in a minute while it's still light out and find a stick or two. But maybe we can just get it to spread without that. Now, sometimes blowing on the fire can help it grow because you actually give it oxygen, but you don't want to blow it out, obviously. All right, I'd say it's actually catching them, and I'd say we're going to be pretty set for having a pretty steady one. However, I haven't gotten all the fruits on there, so we're going to put these ones on the periphery, even if they're not going to get much heat, just because they'll be kind of fun getting mildly cooked. Half-cooked apple, half-cooked persimmon, those will be fun as well. I don't even know what's what now. One of these is an onion. Now, really, supposedly, I'm going to try and cook lamb on here. So we're going to see how that's going to go. Right now, I'm overcrowding it. But it seems to be working okay. In fact, we might need to, at some point, put on the backup log we have right here. When we need this, well, I need to peel the last bit of desk off. The last bit of desktop off the main inner desk here. We only want inner desk on this. All right, so thank you all for the patience. It's going to take a minute to cook this. And one of them, maybe I should put on a quicker type of cooking, which would be to skewer it on the thwark and cook it live. So where'd that thwark go? That big trident-like thing. Or I can just use a normal fork somehow. So we're going to try and use the oven mitt and our fork. I don't know where the fork went. To try and skewer something lighter and quicker. Now, what do we have to have a guava here. Let's try a real quick taste test of a guava cooked on the fire. So I'm gonna hold this with this, and hopefully that'll do the trick. Now this might do some weird sugar crystallization thing. Who knows? There's a lot of sugar in there doing some weird heat reactions right now. Could even pop for all I know. And in a minute, I'll see if the texture has changed at all. So it looks like it's getting shinier. All right, it's definitely bubbling and stuff. Okay, I'm definitely also burning the glove. I should stop that. Okay. Well, the guava maybe has changed a bit. Now, I think I should get you folks a little closer. It'll be a lot more fun if you can see an actual view of the fire. There we go. Who cares if you can see me for a minute? You're just going to have a little fireside view. All right. Now, what we need to do is find a good way to expand this. We have more room over here that I want to take advantage of so that we can turn this into a whole lamb-sized fire. And that's not just going to go on its own. It's going to need some more help. It's going to need some more twigs and stuff. And I'm going to shine my flashlight around here and see where those twigs are living. Kindling hunting. Now, there's so much combo class junk here that it's hard to see where all of the twigs are. But it's hard to imagine there wouldn't be twigs because there's so many trees around. Now, where are those twigs hiding? Oh, this looks good. Check this out. It's an old piece of wood. And I also found some tongs on the way while I was over there. But look at that. That's a good old piece of wood. Scrape off those dead leaves and stuff. Oh, hey, what's up, bro?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, you want to say hi to the stream?
Yeah, come on.
Hey, this is my bro. What's cracking?
Yo, that's
We
my
got-
fingers.
Yeah, good squats for the day. Yeah, the smoke's really getting me, but it's kind of working. Lamb. Okay, we're gonna have to try and cook lamb on the campfire. What method do you suggest?
I would say on a stick, direct fire.
On a stick. Okay. How am I gonna get
My
this
real
on a stick?
suggestion would probably be get a grate of some kind and grill it on that.
That would be better, but I don't know if I have a
But
grate.
in terms of knowledge and comedy, I would say a stick is probably
A
the
stick?
best.
What about tongs?
Tongs is good. Tongs is good.
But I just have to hold it for like 15 minutes with the tongs.
That's the thing. Your hands are gonna get hot.
Okay.
So I say stick.
I was wondering if I can like semi-cook it on a little brick with this. Like,
Maybe inside tinfoil.
yeah, maybe I can get like the beginning cooked like that, and then I can like scorch the outside with some tong action.
That sounds perfect.
All right, I'm gonna try it.
Let me know when it's ready.
Cool. Yeah, I know. I'll text you. And also, bro, we got a lot of other weird fruits on here and stuff.
Oh
I
yeah.
put like every fruit and vegetable we had on here. Okay.
I'm excited.
All right, I'll let you know.
Let me know.
Cool. Yeah, I'll
be
text
back.
you.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro. Awesome. We got a lamb delivery. We are going to try the technique of a little bit of foil wrapped cooking first, and then I'm going to try and grill the outside. So I need to know, like, time wise, how long this has been anywhere. So let's see. I'm going to get it right here near the top. Ow. Smoke. try and go like that and give the lamb a nice cook, and we'll turn it every once in a while. And then we'll roast the outside in a little bit. Oh, wow. You can hear like fat boiling on it. All right. I haven't had lamb in many months. Lamb is a rare treat, but it can be really good. So what I also got to remember to do is put some seasoning on it when I like open it before I do the tong action. Good thing I brought the classic 4: salt, pepper, garlic powder, and cayenne. So we'll be ready to blast that with a tiny bit of flavor, but with some good lamb. If you cook it right, you don't need much. Now, sorry to all the vegetarians out there, but I was actually a vegetarian for more than 5 years when I was about maybe 10 to 16 or so. And I decided to go back to eating meat for some reasons, but who knows? Maybe I'll go in another phase of being a vegetarian someday. People go in many phases. I should have checked what time I put that on. Let's see. Right now it's 5:16, and so I probably put it on at like 5:14. And yep, we got fired. Okay, I want to try and look at these comments, so we're gonna go to my face for a moment while we check these. All right. Whoa, lots of good comments because I've just been so busy doing a lot of random stuff. Thank you to all of you who are chatting in the comments. It's always nice to see some cool discussions going on. And the fire is quite cozy. So, and where am I at? Some people say it's super cold. It's cold for me here too. That's why I got like a hood on and stuff. But it's not going to snow type cold. I'm in California. I'm in the Bay Area. So it gets like foggy cold and some rain, but it doesn't get like snowy cold. And the fire's really hot. So actually, I keep taking my hood off because the fire is pretty hot. So, time to rotate this lamb. Well, let me also rotate the other ones. What's going on with all these other fellas? Ow. I wonder if these are cooking at all. Like all the little peppers and all of that stuff, all the garlics and stuff. Because theoretically, our ideal lamb situation isn't just going to involve the lamb. It's going to involve some of these garlics and onions and stuff having some stuff. They contribute. All right, we do need to loosen it up a bit to have some airflow. Okay, that's not how we want the fire, but let's flip this fella. Ow! Flip him for a second. All right. For any new viewers who can't read the whiteboard back there, by the way, it says do not copy. So there was a disclaimer. Do not copy this. We're just cooking some food. All right. So we'll keep flipping that lamb for a little bit. And I think I put it in about 5:14. So we're going to cook it this way and for like 10 or 15 minutes. And then we'll cook it this way for like 10 minutes. And I'll try and get like 10 minutes of holding it in tongs over the fire, even though that might be pretty hot on my hand. All right, it's dripping all of this like cool cooked lamb fat under there, so you can hear it sizzling on the fire. All right, we need to restructure this fire a little bit though if we want to keep it fully alive. We need to give a little help back to this side because I've been fiddling with it and cutting off all of its airflow. Sorry, fire. Give you a little help over on this side with your good friend cardboard. All right, now I'll put the glove back on because maybe that was helping, at least in conjunction with the tongs. And we'll see if any of these inner guys have the possibility to be interacted with or flipped or whatever. If they have any action going on. All right, okay. Trust me, guys, just only low for a minute. It'll come back to life in a moment. Okay, so a little more cardboard here might help out. And this time I'll actually give it a little start on its own. So we'll start off a little cardboard, put it in on that cardboard, see if we can get that side to join the action. Cool. So that looks like it's going well, but now I lost track of where the lamb went. The lamb is the most important part of this operation. Well, so now the lamb is doing something weird. We'll put the lamb on top of there. I hope lamb's like being, or lamb being cooked likes being right next to fire, because this one's right on the fire. And I'm sure some of these other ones are getting cooked a bit too. They must be. These little guys, they've just been hanging out near the fire in the embers for a while, like this thing, whatever it was. We're going to give you all an opportunity to hang out in the embers. Rotate the cycles. Uh-oh. Now remember, if you do want to actually ever build your own fire, don't overcrowd it with 50,000 things wrapped in foil. That is only for tonight's experiment. All right, we're going to let that... Oh, no, wait, the lamb. I keep forgetting that there's one most crucial part of this operation. Oh, no. This lamb, which is... Now its skin looks completely black, and it looks like ruined, but it's not, because the lamb inside is perfect. It's just the foil that got black. So let's have a meditative moment to think about how this fire is doing dances representing all sorts of symbols in front of our eyes, whatever you want those dances to represent. And humans have stared at this for many, many years. And fire has captivated us ever since we were cavemen, because it let you see at night and be warm, and because it did weird dances in front of your eyes. And fire is sort of a living, moving, breathing fractal. So fire is pretty interesting. Now, it also helps us do fun games, like see how well will different foil-wrapped things cook in embers. Now, I do want to rearrange these once again, because we want to try and get all the sides actually lit again. All right, lamb's going to hang out up there. So, anyone know how... someone want to look up how long lamb would cook if you did this? I don't think there's any recipes for this, but how long lamb on an open fire cooks. Because then I want to do a little less than that, because I'm going to hold it in tongs right in the fire to like blacken it. You know, give it some good char. Now, taking a peek at the comments. Yeah, someone's wondering if I study sacred geometry. I've kind of gone into that in previous ones. All numbers are sacred. Numbers are super magical and awesome. All geometry is sacred. A lot of people overanalyze a couple patterns, and some of those are pretty magnificent patterns, but they're not the only beautiful patterns. I think math in general is sacred. And I think fire is also sacred. And fire has showed up in my dreams and in my books I've written and in my life. And so it's become iterated semi-purposefully and semi just through it being a force of life throughout a lot of iterations of my time. And here we go again. And fire has actually never caused me any harm, because I've been actually safer than it looks with it. Like I have a hose ready back there. And so the only time the combo class has hurt me has been things falling on me or me scraping myself on things, or like when my foot went through the desk last episode. But not fire. I'm careful with that. Fire is magnificent. Very beautiful. Oh man, this is so crazy. I'm even going to get some desserts from the neighbor who invited me over for Thanksgiving. I had to leave before they did dessert, and she's going to pass some over the fence. It's so nice to have neighbors and allies and friends. My family's out of town, but I did text my mom because I wanted to make sure that she got to hear from me. And I talked to my dad briefly. And it's good knowing neighbors as well. So I'm going to have to... next time I go on one of my little missions to grab like newspaper or whatever, I may come back with a dessert tray. And we're just kind of rearranging all these other things, which for any new viewers who don't know, we have all sorts of things in here from potatoes to onions and garlic and persimmons and mostly a giant lamb on top. My brother got this as a special Thanksgiving treat. He was planning on going shopping for something like this, and then we randomly got to eat our magical Thanksgiving feast anyway. But we also did lamb anyway because it's Thanksgiving, and why not? All right, so I think it's almost time to remove the lamb and switch to cooking it just on the tongs because it's been on there for about a dozen minutes. Um, but we can probably give it another second or so. We might need to look to see if there's any more like cool little logs we could put on because the fire is like seems like it wants another thing to eat. Um, Now, I do have just part of my desk. There's like big chunks of desk around, so I need to just figure out, like I said, which ones of the giant chunk of desk don't have varnish or anything on them. And here's an example of a giant chunk of desk that theoretically I could break some off of or something. At least this stuff. This is like crazy cardboard stuff that's going to be perfect. Look at this cardboard stuff. This is going to be my new fire guy. That was part of the desk. So to all those, to all those who have been following the desk chronicles, this is still part of it. You thought the desk was broken, but like I said, if you can see it, it wasn't fully broken yet. So that's not going to last very long, but we have a lot of it. So whenever we want the fire to look cool, we can put a little bit of that on it. Now I think I'm going to take the lamb off. I don't know how well it's cooked though, because the amount of time you'd look up for a lamb to cook probably is like more efficient real cooking than like getting half cooked by this weird flame. So in any case though, how do I investigate this? Luckily, I have this camping headlamp. That smells good. That smells really good. Okay, that smells like cooked lamb. Okay. You see, guys, camping headlights, very useful. Now I can look at the lamb and we're going to open it up and we're going to season it a little bit. Oh, man. I thought I put it on the desk. I put it on my phone. Okay. There's all this hot lamb juice on my phone. Yeah. Okay. Cool. There we go. And now what we're going to do is make a little bit of seasoning that we want on our lamb. So let's assemble the seasoning on this plate for now. And we're going to want a little bit of salt on the lamb. We're going to want a little bit of black pepper on the lamb. We're going to want a little bit of garlic powder on the lamb. We're going to want a little bit of cayenne on the lamb. And that might be all. I'm going to put a pinch more salt and then we're good. That's good. Now what we're going to do is try and get the lamb seasoned with this and then finish cooking the lamb. Okay, that looks like a half-cooked or mostly cooked lamb if I've ever seen one. Okay, we're getting going, fellas. Ooh, and it has this really good-looking juice on it that unfortunately won't all make it. So, sprinkling some of all of the most important seasonings on this. Then we will try and sort of wipe up the rest of them. And try not to spill too many juices from it. And we're not yet at our final stage of it. We have a little more cooking with it to do. And I also it didn't get too many of the seasonings, so we're going to add a little bit of each seasoning, but we don't need much for the lamb. And then we're going to make sure it got all of the corners evenly shared. Now we're ready to do the final cooking of the lamb in a moment. The fire looks so low though. So what we're going to do is feed another one of these on. And when those are on, if I reassemble some of the others, maybe we can give the fire like some normal type of life again. Where'd the tongs? Okay. For a second, the tongs are now going to touch dirtier stuff, and then we'll try and return them to their original status. All right, so we're about ready to cook the final bit of the lamb. Actually, this headlamp's really helping. I'm going to keep it on. Uh-oh. Okay. What's going on? Okay, it's on me in a weird way, but it works. Okay. The fire is actually really hot. I don't need all these layers practically. So, where did I put my phone? Because I need to tell my bro that the lamb's about to be ready so we can try some of this. He had a part of lamb that he cooked normally too, I think, but I need to tell him that the special variety of lamb cooked combo style is almost ready. One moment. And then while we do this, I'll make the fire a little bigger for you guys. Fun. There we go. Now the fire will be a little bigger while I do this. All right. So, ironically, I'm slow at texting, even though I'm really fast at typing on the computer, because you get fast at things, you do a lot. Now, this fire is really getting to the end of its phases. We've gone through all of the good logs practically. There's not much real wood left in there to burn. There we got a little. And maybe we can agitate that wood to do cool stuff with this, but that's all temporary unless we get some more big wood somewhere in it. So we're going to have to appreciate this possibly temporarily and try and cook our lamb quickly and deliciously. So I'm going to get a good grasp of this with the tongs, but I can't be touching all of it because I need most of it to be going there. And I should be wearing my glove. And it's going to be dripping good juices, unfortunately, that we're going to lose, but that's what we got to get the crispy skin in this case. So, lamb cooking extreme. Now, it doesn't look like there's much flame, but we're hitting a perfect little flame right there. It's doing the trick. Now, I do want to be positive the inside's cooked. So, we're going to get it nice and crispy this way. Not like hyper burnt or anything, but we'll let it hang out with these mini flames for a while to make sure that inside's nice and maximalized deliciousness. So let's also add a little more of this friend we have left, just to get some temporary fire. Ah, that smoke's really getting my eyes and nose. Okay. Now that'll be a good little temporary one in a second that will give us a fun little blast. You can hear those fats doing interesting things in there. All right, this is a more meditative stream than usual, a little less talking than usual, but I get distracted by the fire. I find it pretty. Plus, it's hitting my eyes and nose like crazy, so it makes it harder to talk. And I'm excited to eat some rare lamb and some other things that may be ready. I want to check on those potatoes and onions and garlic and stuff. It is really hot right here, though. I'm like sweating. I think this is going to be really good. I think this is going to be one of the better meats I've had in a while. Everyone, leave your comment on your favorite food that you ate for Thanksgiving today. If you ate anything, if you did any Thanksgiving things, or just your favorite food that you ate this week, regardless. Okay, I need to pause. I'm literally like sweating. I am so hot. This is crazy. The fire really heats me up with because I have a bunch of layers on because it was really cold earlier, and I have this headlamp on. So yeah, sorry, I'm overheating. I need to take off a layer. Okay, we're gonna just open that up for a bit. Get some fresh air. Okay. Now the fire is starting to die a little bit, and we might have to transition to other forms of light, like candles or even headlamps, in a minute. But well, we still got a little more fire. Starting to cool. Ow, ow! Those tongs are really hot. If you're not holding this, starting to cool down. So let's get the final fry on our lamb. I think we just have a little bit to go. Might look like nothing's going on there, but there is a good flame, and it's over this nice little ember pit. The embers can be the best spot. You guys ever cook a bunch of marshmallows on a campfire? Some of the best places to cook them are not always the flames. You can get some good techniques on the flames, but little ember pits can give you some really good love. So, what we're going to have to do in a minute is turn the headlamp on or something, inspect how this is cooked, and inspect how any of the others might be cooked. So I want you to leave a guess in the comments if you've been paying any attention of what's one of the things that I put in foil. Ow! Apart from this, one of the things in foil that you think might have gotten cooked at all during this process. Because there's a lot of fruits there, and I don't know if any of them got affected by the heat in any good way, but maybe. So we're gonna move the snake rattler firework so I don't set it off in the process, and see if any of these picked up any heat too. Like, what's up with all these fruits? Did we get and vegetables? Oh, and the pumpkin. I forgot about the pumpkin. That's a pumpkin. All right, got some more. Oh, now it's getting more love of fire because now it's not as crowded. It was overcrowded. Oh God, I put a lot of different fruits and vegetables in here. No wonder it was having trouble breathing. You can hear them doing weird things. Do you guys hear that sizzling sound? That's like this weird reaction from like some type of fruit or fat or some sugar or fat or something in one of those. So that's that. Now if we rearrange this for one final little go, now that we've uncrowded it, we'll get a little more roasting on the lamb just to make sure it's good to go. Oh, that wasn't even all. There's another one that I got. We have so many fruits and vegetables that we tried to cook. So I don't know which ones of those, if any, worked, but we'll see. All right. Tiny bit more. Let me wipe these off, the tongs. And then you get a tiny bit more with that, with the lamb. Well, that sent some sparks around. Yeah, so that fire's getting dead. So we still can hold the lamb over it a little bit just to get some good ember love. Holding this for some final little... Oh, that ignited cool. Got a little more. All right, we're going to get a little more on this side and then a little more on the other side. It's longer than you'd normally cook a lamb, but that's because I don't know if the whole time it was cooking or cooking at a high temperature, because flames of this sort, where they're going in and out of it, can be a little more weird. Now, I'm pretty sure when I cut into it, it'll look pretty delicious on the inside, and I'll be like, all right, I'm eating this. I trust it. So, not sure about the rest of the fruits and vegetables, like the potato and stuff. I'm just flipping this. So, one moment. I want to get a little roast on the other side as well. Wait, which side was the other side? I don't know. I lost track. I think this is going to be really good. So, next time we'll prepare some logs. I didn't even have any logs. We were using desk for our campfire and a few twigs, but it still did the trick. We still managed to cook lamb. So if you can cook lamb with the desk, that's pretty good. That's a new one. The desk has achieved a lot for me, but this is the first time it's cooked lamb for me. All right, you all think that's ready? I think that should hopefully be ready. All right, let's leave it to rest and we'll cut into it in a minute. And in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to be testing if any of the other things that we put foil on somehow magically are edible. So to do that, we're going to need to get a better lighting situation here. And this is going to have to come a little more foreground probably, because the fire like this is only going to last like a minute. So we need a little station right here. This is what we need. The chair whose back broke off. Man, that smoke in the eyes and nose got me all sniffly. Okay. So here's what we're about to do. On this side, we have a bunch of contenders that we're hoping are going to be right. And the contenders, I'm going to roll into there like that. And then we're going to put them on this plate one at a time as we unravel them. And we're going to see, did it cook? It's like a game show. Did it cook? Now we're going to set this right here so we get a decent light on our Did It Cook game show, because the fire's dying. All right. First up, we have a little pepper-like thing. So it feels really soft. I think this guy's getting a good ranking on the Did It Cook game show. Let's see. Yeah, it's in fact burnt. Half of it looks delicious. Half of it is burnt. So, yep, peppers like that can definitely cook in that type of fire wrapped in foil. If anything, it was overcooked, but half of that looks really delicious. What about this? What was this? Ooh, garlic. Okay, this was the garlic where we put the cloves separate, I think. Or no, this was to get, look at that garlic. Okay, if you like melted garlicky stuff, I need to get some bread or something to put that in. That is pure melted garlic. That is going to be so good. Oh, what we're going to put it on is the potato. We're going to put it on the potato. If the potato cooked. Let's see. Wait, is that garlic? What is that? It looked like garlic. That is a guava. That was trippy. It looks like the garlic turns. But it is secretly a guava. And I do want to try it in a minute because it got completely melted and looks different. What's next? an onion. So some of it got soft. It feels like a bit softer. We're going to cut a little of that onion off and we're going to add a little to the potato. It's a softened onion. What do we got here? Is this the other pepper or something? Probably a similar story, I bet, where one side of it's probably burnt, the other side's probably delicious. Let's see if that's the case again. Oh, this one has only a little burnt spot and the rest looks delicious. So these peppers really did cook just really good in there. So those are going to mix good with the potatoes. Next, we have this. Is this one of the potatoes? So, yeah, unfortunately, it's not fully baked. Ow. Some of it does. It looks like semi-baked. I have higher hopes for the smaller potatoes. Let's see if the smaller potatoes, when we get to those, are like fully baked. Now, what's this one? I've lost track of what's what. It's kind of a fun game to unravel them. This one had an extra layer. Ooh, this is garlic cloves, and these are the melted garlic I was talking about. You have to squeeze them out of the little pods, but then you squeeze them out, and they're so delicious. So we got, these are the individual ones where we put the garlic separate, and it's going to be really, really good. This is like top tier. We got all of these individual cloves and one burnt one, and the rest looking magnificent. I'm going to need to separate these with another plate somehow in a minute to have like my sweet plate and my savory plate, because we're going to try and make some concoctions. So this was a persimmon. Ow. And now it's kind of cooked, so who knows? Normally these persimmon, okay, it's kind of burnt on that side, but on this side, it looks nice and interesting. So we'll try that on our sweet plate. Do we drop one? Yeah. All right. Here's some more little ones. And is this one of the potatoes? It is. Now, this one I think is fully cooked. It feels like a little harder than you might normally cook it, but it's going to be good enough to eat in our little feast. It got cooked to the degree that it needs to be yum. Now, what about this? This is a whole garlic where we didn't separate the cloves first. The outside looks blackened, but if we separate the cloves, same story, delicious garlics. We're going to have a bunch of garlic to squeeze out all over the potatoes or all over bread or whatever. Lots of goodness in there. Garlic is a great one to do this with. Now let's see what else we got. We got, I forget what this was. Is this another guava? This is another potato. Is it? No, this is a guava. I'm getting confused. They look and feel different. This guava feels really soft and different. That's going to be cool. It didn't break. So it's just going to be this weird, soft, different type of guava. Now, what's the, oh, this is the butternut squash. We're going to save that for last. Here we got another persimmon. And here we got an apple. All right. Now, it's been about the amount of time you're supposed to let meat like lamb. Oh, this is part burnt, part delish again. It's been about the amount of time you're supposed to let lamb rest for. But I need to get plates to separate the, oh no, the lamb plate, I'll just put some of this other stuff on maybe. But look at the butternut squash now. Let's see what this did. So it might have burnt, unfortunately. Yeah, it burnt on that side. Okay, is any of it good? Yeah. So the top of the butternut squash completely burnt. The bottom is going to be a delicious squash-like thing that didn't burn. That's going to be like, sort of like sweet potato. So that was, I think, all of the vegetables we got and fruits, but that is quite an amount we cooked. Look at that feast we cooked just from our own campfire. Now, we're going to have to cut open this lamb and see how this looks. Now, I need to take a layer off because I'm overheating again. So we're actually going to take a layer off this time. Okay. There we go. I'll put the lab coat on in 1 sec because hot, hot, hot. Also, the lab coat now I'm going to wear in reverse because it's, then I don't have this prickly dice thing in it when I don't wear long sleeves and I wear it. So, now the test we've all been waiting for. How does the lamb look? Where'd that fork go that I was using? Here. So, the test we've all been waiting for. Let me put this headlamp back on. All right. Let me get you all a little closer. This lamb, for anyone new watching, this lamb was cooked on that campfire right there. So, freshest lamb in the world. Let's see. And hidden some bone. Got to cut around the bone. And let's see if it looks a good color on the inside. It does. Okay. You ready to try? Mmm. 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 That is really good. I'm going to have to save some of this for my brother. Even though he had some of his own lamb, he's going to need to try this style. Cooked it deliciously on the campfire. It worked out excellently. Campfire cooking for eternity. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to have to try some of that stuff. So, this was a potato. We're going to cut off a little bit of the burnt part. Let's cut on a little bit of onion. So, here you get some softer than usual little onion bits. And we got some potato. And now what we're going to add that's extra special is these garlic cloves. So these are the cooked garlic cloves. And we're going to squeeze out the garlic onto there. You know, got some garlic there. I'm going to squeeze out this one. You know, squeeze that out onto there. And we're just getting these little mounds of delicious, like liquid, or like not quite liquid, but like soft garlic. You know, we're going to insert all those. Now, we are going to also throw in a little bit of pepper, these red and yellow peppers. So let's cut off a little bit of the non-burnt part of each of these. We don't need too much of them in our feast. We'll just cut a little bit of the non-burnt ones. I'll go through and eat these scraps later, but right now, oh no, it went right in the fire. I'll go through and eat those scraps later. Right now, I just want to make a perfect like little scramble right there of a few little yum things. So I'm going to get a little bit more potato out there too. Oops, I spilled the potato I wanted. And that is starting to make a good little scramble we got there, although I dropped my fork in the fire. So we need to wipe that off. It's chaos out here. Sorry for those who don't like dirtiness, but we are keeping our immune system healthy. So now we're going to finally add a little bit of our classic things like pepper, salt. I don't need garlic powder this time because there's already garlic in it. And a little bit of cayenne. And then we're going to chop in a little bit of lamb. And all of this was cooked right on that campfire. I'll pan to the campfire when I eat a bite of the scramble we cooked together. So, thank you all for joining me in this utter awesome Thanksgiving feast day. It's a holiday built around feasting. So, I'm going to have a bunch of feasts. The more feasts, the merrier. So, check out this scramble. We got potato, lamb, 2 types of pepper, onion, and all of that was cooked right there. So, always fun to see what you can do right in your own little combo corner terrain or whatever your terrain is. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Sorry for the intermission. Mm. Sorry for the eating pause. Must be boring, but I had to test it out. All of the magnificent feast we cooked together here. And now we do have our better lighting, so we might have to put out that fire in a minute because in case I need to take any trips inside, I don't want to leave it unattended. So we are going to spray it with water in a second. I'll let you guys watch it. And then we're just going to keep the headlamp as our weird, mystical, nighttime way of seeing. And hopefully the batteries don't die. I just found this in the container out there earlier today, so who knows how much life it has. They're coming for me. I forgot one important thing. The most important one, arguably, is the pumpkin. Did anything happen to it? So, it feels shiny and wet. Something like came out of it sugary, like sap-like. Now, I wonder if it feels really, no, it feels less hard than usual. So we're going to try and cut into that pumpkin. Maybe while it's still hot, we should. Well, no, I'm going to get a better knife to cut into the pumpkin in a minute. First, we're going to put out the fire. And now we're going to be sure that if I need to run inside to get any supplies or anything, that we won't cause any ruckus with any embers. Okay. Thank you all for joining me here so far. We had quite success making this little feast right here. So that was pretty awesome. Might gnaw on this little bone too to celebrate. You got these little bones you can just gnaw on. Mm-hmm. 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 Yum. That was good and rare. In fact, there's some between these bones. Sorry, guys, I'm getting distracted. I gotta get back on subject. So, what's next is I think we should cut into the pumpkin and see if the inside of the pumpkin's edible. We also can see how to make some sweet butternut squash. So first we're gonna take a look inside the squash. Yeah, check this out. I'm gonna squeeze some of this out. This is like sweet potato looking and tasting. So if I get some of this out, is that you, bro?
Yeah.
What up?
Hey.
You want to try some lamb?
Sure.
It was a success.
Nice.
Here, try a cut or gnaw on that. I'm using the knife for more chaos
You want to
now.
cut me a little piece off?
Do you mind if it has this on it? It's butternut squash. Yeah.
Everything can turn out good?
Yeah, you want to try some other stuff?
I'll try about one thing or two.
Okay, cool. Let's find the better ones to try.
I also brought some of that weird candy
Weird candy.
from Nancy.
Nice.
I gave you 2 out of the 4.
Cool. I didn't know it was going to be weird candy.
Weird looking ones.
Oh, whoa. These are the weird looking.
These are the more bizarre looking ones.
Oh, cool. It's like very intriguing.
Yeah. Is there a way for them to see it?
You want to show it to them?
Is it light enough?
It's only when I have my headlamp. The fire was guiding the way earlier. I need to install a light that works out here sometime. But
right up there.
Yeah. So let's see. There's some lamb bites, bro. Do you want to try those? And then
try.
You can have a few. But there's also other stuff.
Yep.
You want to try guava?
Yeah.
So I haven't had this one yet. I had a little bite of it, but bro, let's try it. There you go.
Which one is this? White guava?
No, this is our yard's pineapple.
It looks different.
That was good. And the skin's more edible than usual.
That was really good. That is crazy good.
You want some persimmon? I haven't tried that before. That might be weird.
Wow. This guava is crazy.
I know. Sometimes cooking it enhances it in a crazy way. All right, persimmon.
I'm also working on this lava.
That's interesting. Now, apple I know is going to taste like apple pie, straight up. I'm going to put this on my safe. The apple always just tastes like literally like pretty much what apple pie with a tiny bit less sugar and without the crust tastes like.
That's crazy.
You want some?
Sure.
That's a feast. I'm going to need help finishing all this.
I got a feast cooking inside. I can't even stay out here.
Yeah. Here, try that apple.
Sorry, that's the thing. It took me so long to come out here. So
Oh, you're good.
I'm having a bad time.
You have a more practical way to make your half of the lamb.
Technically, more practical. In reality, just as tasty.
True. This one worked pretty well. Bro, I forgot to mention, because I was mostly having it on potatoes, but I got a bunch of garlic. You know those garlics you make?
Oh, nice.
You want one, even though it's just garlic?
That'll be a nice
Pure
finisher.
garlic. And the last one I'm going to try, if you want, is butternut squash.
You haven't tried that yet?
No.
I love butternut squash.
This one has a lot of seeds. I'm not used to that.
I'm not used to that either.
I guess I'll eat around the seeds on this part, but this is just plain, so I haven't added any text seasoning or anything, but I'm going to try it. Tastes like sweet potato, but better.
Yeah.
Isn't
More
that
unique.
good?
More unique. Add some paprika and sugar to that. Done.
Yeah.
I gotta work on my meal.
Okay, cool. See you, bro. I love you.
Love you, bro.
I'll see you later.
Let me
I'm
know
glad
how
you got
food
to share
tastes.
some of this.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you, bro.
Yeah. Love you.
Love you too. All right, so that was a feast. I don't know how many of you stuck around during that, but all of those were delicious. So, let's see. Thank you to all of you. All very nice for leaving your comments. And now we are going to move on to our next phase, which is testing how the inside of the pumpkin looks. So, now I have all these plates that when I bring inside to finish, it's going to be a whole confusing order to finish. I also got 2 rare candies. So, maybe we'll try one of these as one more Thanksgiving snack before we cut into a pumpkin. Now, we already did our pumpkin investigations for Halloween, but I say we treat this whole season as a pumpkin-y thing. And we keep rolling with cutting open some pumpkins and investigating what's going on in them. But first, we got to try whatever the heck this is. And that's interesting. That's good. I don't know how to explain it. I wish I could explain it. So, let's look inside this pumpkin. Okay, I need a sharper knife. I'm gonna need to get a better tool. So, what we're gonna do, since I've lost many of the combo lords around here anyway, just by my own antics and eating and stuff, I am gonna do one of my run sides, but this time it's gonna be to get a blade. And this blade will not be to harm any enemies. It will be to investigate the pumpkin. And good morning to you from India. Always good to have people from all across the globe. Now, I'm going to run inside, grab a big blade, and in the meantime, I'll leave my little light out here. No, I'm going to need, I can use my phone so I don't crash. And we're going to take a little look at what we've cooked and the pumpkin that we are about to investigate. Now, this pumpkin's nice and warm. I have pretty good hopes for what the pumpkin could contain. Can't see anything over there. Darkness. Spooky. All right. This is going to be a mysterious, spooky thing for anyone who shows up and doesn't know what it is. That's fine. Nothing going on here. No mysteries to hide. I will run inside, grab a blade, and be right back. To all of you Ultra Combo Lords who stay around, thank you. And I'm going to eat this weird candy on the way. All right. I don't know if any combo lords stuck around, and they all did, or the same amount left this game. Thank you all to the true combo lords who stuck around, or who decided to come during a stream that looked like this. Now, as a reminder, this is less spooky than it's. It looks more spooky than it is. Got a knife. It's pitch black. Trust me, guys. I'm just trying to do some science on a pumpkin. Whoop. So here we got the headlamp. Going to go back on my head, and you should be a little closer for this experiment, all of you. Okay. So, still got to be careful when you cut something big and dense like a pumpkin, even when it's a little bit softened, because it can be hard. But here, look. It's kind of like I'm jack-o'-lanterning it right now, but we're going to see, is the inside like softened? Whoa. Whoa. Check this out. It came off like clean. The inside, it's like the shell like expanded a little bit. So there's like a round little pumpkin thing in there, and then there's like a shell like a little bit further than that. That's trippy. Look at this. I'm like peeling it like an orange. What the heck? Have you ever peeled a pumpkin like an orange? That is weird. Okay, now we got to the inside to the seeds. You guys see that? Seedville. It's dripping some stuff. So I'm going to try eating it. I read that cooked pumpkin can be a delicacy in some courses. So let's see what this one tastes like. It's not designed for flavor, probably, because this was like a decorative pumpkin, and other pumpkins are nowadays designed for like decoration or for carvability. But let's see how cooked pumpkin tastes. That's pretty good. It's like doesn't have much flavor, but it's like a nice subtle mealy thing. You could like turn it into some type of porridge. Not bad. So, as you can see, more things than you may realize are edible. And this had a cool trait I didn't realize. I didn't realize it like fell off the skin like that, like clean. That is trippy. It's like an egg. That's what it was like. It was like a really, like a not fully hard boiled egg, but the skin came off like a hard boiled egg. That's why it was so weird. Pumpkin. So the Pumpkin Chronicles haven't ended. And remember, everyone, this is a berry botanically. So, and someone said eat the seeds are the best part. I don't think they're the best part when they're cooked like this necessarily. I think you have to bake them maybe or cook them at a higher flame. My mom used to bake the pumpkin seeds all the time and put a little salt on and oil on some baked pumpkin seeds. Or maybe you didn't even need those. Maybe it was just the seeds. And those were good. But I'm not sure if these will be good. We can try one. Nah. It doesn't taste cooked in the way that's supposed to. And yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all of you. To anyone who celebrates that and whoever doesn't, happy Random Day. Still should be happy that you are here on Random Day. Now, that is mostly the end of what we have planned for the stream. So we are going to log off before too long. Because although it's a wonderful Thanksgiving, it's a little harder to stream when it's dark out. And we also already did most of the investigations that I had on my mind. Got to cook probably about 10 different types of fruit and vegetable. And some lamb. And they all worked. And I still have a plate full of cool stuff to eat through, which I'm going to have to dig through and find the non-burnt parts and have a strange feast. Now, you are all so awesome for watching. If I log off in a second, which I think I will do, I got to work on finishing my edit because I'm going to drop an awesome episode on the main channel tomorrow. And I'll be dropping that Patreon people asked for at the beginning of December or even sooner. With a bunch of bonus videos and some other opportunities on it. And I will be continuing to do random shorts and live streams for fun, because it's fun. Thank you all so much. Remember, in the links in this description here, there is a subreddit and Discord and stuff like that, and the main channel, of course. I'm going to have fun snacking on the rest of these, like this pretty normal looking but slightly warm persimmon. A little different than a normal persimmon. Slightly different experience. So, always good to expand your horizons if you haven't tried something cooked, see how it tastes. Well, after you look up that it's safe. And even when you have not much in your house. And even if you didn't have a working stove, apparently you can cook a cool, weird meal. So, one sec. Thank you all for joining me here. You are all awesome. I love you. I'll catch you again in the next stream or video. And hope you all have marvelous nights. See you next time. And remember, whether or not you care about Thanksgiving, there is a lot of cool stuff to be thankful about.